case anybody couldn't make it. All right, so I just was mentioning that I forgot to hit record on today's meeting. So far, what we've gone over is just really number 12 from the day 3 practice that is has to be submitted. And just a quick run through is that it turns into a system of equations. We don't know the mean or the standard deviation given either of these z-scores. So if you set up 2 equations with 2 unknowns, you can solve the system, find y. Y represented the standard deviation in this case. Plug it back in and find x. Okay. So that was number 12. And I just mentioned that I hope you guys got the note that we're skipping number 13. What else can I assist you with?
Can you go over number 3 on the day 3 notes?
Yes. So is it the one about the full-grown beef cows?
Yeah.
Okay. So number 3 says the average weight of full-grown beef cows is 1,470 pounds with a standard deviation of 230. If the weights are normally distributed, what is the percentile rank of a cow that weighs 1,750 pounds? So to get the percentile, what we're looking at here is, here's my normal curve. The average is 1,470. And I want to know what percentile does a cow fall into that weighs 1,750 pounds. So the percentile, if this fell at a nice number of standard deviations away, you can see that there was that one chart at one point where you can add up all the percents. But this is exactly what normal CDF will do for us. Okay. So if you do on your calculator normal CDF, where the lower bound is all the way to the left, this is like kind of like our version of negative infinity, negative 1e99. It's negative 1 times 10. Elodie, hold on. Okay, the upper bounds would be the weight that we're looking at, 1,750. And if I use this as my upper bounds, then I have to use the mean and standard deviation that are given. So the mean would be 1,470. And the standard deviation is going to be, actually, sorry, that's going to be sigma on the calculator. That's going to be 230. If you wanted to convert this to a z-score, you could do that. And then you should have seen in the notes that mu becomes, the mean becomes 0. The standard deviation is 1 in that case. But I'll show you real quick if I do normal CDF. Let's turn this on. Okay, second vars, choice 2. The lower for me is already set to negative 1e to the 99. I'll show you just real quick again how we would type that in though. Negative 1, second, comma, gives you that e, and then 99. Upper is 1750. The average 1470, 230 for the standard deviation. Paste it to the home screen. I'm getting 0.888 here. Okay, so that would be rounded up to the 89th percentile, which you can see corresponds with choice 1 there. So if you're looking for a percentile, you're going to be doing normal CDF, figure out what the bounds are, and you're going to type those in. If you know the percentile and you're looking for the weight, that's when you use the other one called inverse norm. So second vars, choice 3 in that menu would get you a given weight that would correspond with a percentile that's known. Okay. So hopefully that helps for number 3.
I have a calculator question.
Sure.
When I do I and V norm, it gives me an option for tail, like left, center, or right. And that wasn't on your calculator when you did it.
Interesting. So you said what does it tell you in the menu?
Like when I do I and V norm, it gives me area and then mean and then standard deviation. Then it says tail, and I have to pick left, center, or right. And then pay underneath that.
Is that like a new calculator? What kind of calculator do you have?
It's the same as yours.
Same as mine.
Yeah, and then I went on my sister's calculator. She's the same one as me, and the same thing happened on hers because I wanted to see like if it would happen on hers.
Yeah. And did it happen on hers or no?
It did, yeah.
Okay. And did you figure, this is Julia, I'm guessing, just based on.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you figure out what you're supposed to select there, Julia, or no?
No, well, I tried center because that was just my best guess, and then it gave me 2 numbers like as an answer.
Oh, okay. So, and what are the other options again? Sorry.
Left, center, or right on tail.
Okay. Katie just mentioned in the comments here that that happens on her calculator as well. Let's just read what Katie said real quick. She said, mine does that too. Just paste it and delete the tail part before I press enter. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen that tail part come up, but I'll check with Mrs. Crowfoot. She might know. Maybe her students have had some of the same issues. So Julia, I'll get back to you if there's something we can do. Lucia says, mine does that, and I've been putting left, and it seems to get the same answer that Mr. All gets. Yeah, I guess if anything, I would put in left, because what we're trying to do is figure out, based on that percentile, the percentile is the area to the left of the number that we're looking for. So I think Lucia's strategy makes a lot of sense. Katie's saying that you can just delete it and then hit enter. Hopefully that will work for you too, Julia. But yeah, I've never seen that come up, but I'll talk to Mrs. Crowfoot and see what she has to say about that.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you for bringing that up, because yeah, it wasn't happening on my calculator, so I didn't know that was an issue. But good to know, because I'm sure others had the same issue or question, and I'm glad that Katie and Lucia have some good answers for us here to that. So excellent. Any other questions from day 3 or otherwise? No, that was it. I mean, these are definitely good questions you asked. Like I said, 12 I thought was definitely one of the tougher ones on here. I like this number 3 question. Anything else though? So just as a quick aside, we have 2 more new days of stats. One is today, that's been posted already, and then the next one will be tomorrow, and then that's it for our first part of statistics. So you'll see some review by the end of this week. The review is already in the blank copies with everything. I'll be posting some answer keys to that at the beginning of next week and assign the first part of the stats quiz. Just as a quick note, I know that I emailed you guys on Monday about this. I have received most of the probability quizzes at this point, so thank you for getting those into me. I'm a little bit behind taking a look at stuff because I believe I said in my email that I somehow contracted strep throat. I have no idea how. I don't know. So somebody, it's a little scary to get something like that at this time, but I was not really doing much at all this weekend, just trying to rest and relax, and I'm feeling much, much, much better today, which is good news. But I will be getting to those probability quizzes and getting you some feedback on that definitely by the end of this week. So if you have questions, you'll let me know. All right, anything else? Did you guys just come here to see me today? Are you just, is that what it is? I don't know. Let's see if I can switch the camera. I feel like my hair has gotten out of control, which is why now I'm wearing a hat today, but let's see. Maybe you can see me again. Okay. Anything else I can help you with while we're all here together? What do you guys think? I'm glad grid view is working again, though. It wasn't working for me last week at some point.
I kind of just have a general question. So
okay.
How do you want us to show our work? Like,
I think that's,
do you want us to write like upper and lower and the mean and that, like what we're plugging into our calculator?
I love that you asked that question, Macy, because you're right. There's not a lot of work to show at all. And something I want to impress too is that even for multiple choice questions, I'd like you to show me something that you've done. So for that last one that we just went over, I think just writing down the, certainly drawing a picture of the curve is good for work purposes, but I'll show you in a lot of other cases, what I've been doing is exactly what you said, Macy, where you just kind of write down what the calculator steps are. If you don't want to write the upper, lower, mu, and sigma stuff there, what I wrote down on my answer key for the last one, let's see, oops. Let's see if I can turn this on real quick. Okay, I actually wrote down what the normal CDF looks like on the home screen. So if you want to write down like, okay, this is my lower bound, upper bound, mean, standard deviation, this was the answer. That, in my opinion, is sufficient work to get full credit on something like this. But you're right. I mean, for these questions, there's really not a lot of work that you're doing. And I'll tell you, if we were taking a Regents exam this year, which you know we're not, but if there were a question like this, you would actually write this out the same way that we have right here. You would write down that you're doing a normal CDF, what your bounds were, and all that information. So I'm really glad that you asked that, Macy, because it's easy to just say, oh yeah, the answer is the 89th percentile, because I got 0.88 from my calculator. But you showing me what you typed in will help me to see that, yes, you're doing it correctly, or if you get the wrong answer, what you were attempting to do. Okay? Really good question. I need to do 11 part C. Let's check out 11 part C. Okay. I like that question, Zach. This is also, I don't think, super obvious. It says, how tall are the biggest 10% of kindergartners? I'm sitting with a pretty tall kindergartner right now, right? Elodie, do you think you're pretty tall?
I'll come over.
Oh, you're gonna come over, okay. All right, well, I'll show them how tall you are in a second. We're doing a question about tall kindergartners right now. Do you think you're tall?
Yep, I'm pretty tall.
You're pretty tall. Okay. So the biggest 10% of kindergartners would be in this region out here if I shade it. So what that means is that if you're in the biggest 10%, that you are in the 90th percentile. So what we know for this question is we know what percentile we're in, and we want to know what that height is. So this is going to wind up being an inverse norm question. So the area under the curve that we're looking at, remember, is what's going on to the left of this value that I'm looking for. The area under the curve should be 0.90. And then you would put in the mean and the standard deviation from there. And that's going to tell you what the height is of that tall kindergartner. But yeah, based on the wording for that one, Zach, it wasn't obvious maybe right away that we're looking at the 90th percentile. So you just got to read that carefully to know that the biggest 10% means that that's the percentile they fall into. Think that's good for that one? Okay. All right, my tall kindergartner, you want to come say hello to my students? I know you've been dying to be on camera with them. Let's see. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Tell them what you've been doing.
I've been playing outside.
Playing outside. That's been a popular thing. I just asked my students what they've been doing outside, and they've been hiking, running, and biking, and doing yard work. Have we been doing yard work here and there too?
We were doing yard work, and I helped out my mom also with some yard work.
Yeah, we have to move some bricks and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I carried like most of the bricks when Grandma was taking a break. I like picked up bricks for her.
yes, it's been very, very busy over here. So
And my grandma's actually here since the past time.
yes. So
But
it's all
now
good.
she's like wrapping up Daddy's tennis racket. Like
Yeah,
a
so
new thing.
we're doing some tennis racket repairs over here right now. So anything else I can help you with, guys, while we're hanging out here? Who's her teacher? That's a really good question, Rachel. I don't think anyone would have, in your class, would have been able to have her, because I think she's only been teaching for 7 years. But her name is Mrs. Redmond, and she teaches at JA. So she's really fantastic. Elodie has had her own little meetings with her class. Yes, good times at JA, I'm sure. So see you, Zach. it's pretty funny, guys, to watch what a Google Meet looks like for a bunch of kindergartners. It's Sam's giving a shout out to Brooks Hill there. So yeah, it's sort of it's organized chaos is what it is. You know, they all want to talk to each other and it's very cute, but you know, it's definitely been a big adjustment even for doing stuff at the kindergarten level here. So kindergarten has Mrs. something that starts with S. Is she in kindergarten, Rachel? Yes. Okay. Huh. I'll have to think of the other kindergarten teachers because I know at JA. Perfect. Okay. Well, maybe she will be in a class with Elodie someday. It's certainly very possible. I'm a little sad, guys. I mean, Brotherhood Sisterhood Week seems like, you know, years ago now that would have happened. But my second period class was supposed to go visit Elodie's class, so I was really pumped for that. But hopefully next year, you know, hopefully we can figure something out. But I was, you know, sort of sad, disappointed, you know, somewhat relieved too when the announcement came Friday about our school closure this year. You know, I just want us everybody to be healthy. I don't want anyone to get sick or anything like that. And at the end of the day, it was probably the best decision, but it doesn't mean that it's easy saying, all right, this is what the rest of our school year looks like, because it's so great seeing all your names on the screen right now, but it's also so different that I essentially still feel like I'm talking to myself, which is what I do, you know, when I make your lessons every day. So I miss the energy that we have in class. I miss, you know, you guys made me laugh a lot. So I miss all of that. So it's certainly not the same, but we're going to continue on the best way that we can. You're going to learn some really great things. And then hopefully next year, you never know. As of right now, I'm teaching some pre-calc next year, not pre-calc honors. But if you're teaching or if you're taking pre-calc, you may just be stuck with me again. You never know. And then maybe in other potentially exciting news, as of right now, I'm supposed to be teaching BC Calc next year. So maybe not next year, but for some of you, 2 years from now, down the road, I may just be able to get to steal you again, which I'm really looking forward to because you are a fantastic group, which makes it sad that we couldn't finish the year together. But sorry, I've been rambling here. Anything last minute math-wise I can help you with? Anything? No? Clues teaches honors pre-calc, right? Sam, the answer to that is yes, as of right now. And again, things change all the time, guys, but as of right now, Mr. Clues will be teaching pre-calc honors next year. Sorry, it's so bright behind me. But, and also Mr. Martin teaches pre-calc honors. So 2 fantastic teachers that you would have the potential to have next year. All right. I really do miss all you guys. I mean that when I say that in my Monday emails. It's not the same. But I look forward to continuing to see you, you know, like once a week on our Google Meets here. And if you need something in the meantime, let me know. I'm here for you. All right? All right. If we have no more math questions, I'm going to hit stop record. Bye, Robert. Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate you guys continuing.